TimeEnds Radio.
And we're live. All right, this is part 2 of my interview with Christy. Our first interview did not work very well. It was a disaster, man. I tried airing it live on Facebook. Facebook totally fucked that up. So, whatever. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. I was just watching my dog while my mom came home. I was watching some clips from a movie. So
Cool. What were you watching?
I was watching like clips from Free Willy. I used to watch that movie when I was a kid, and the thing I was always fascinated by it were the whale sounds.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Were you one of those people that felt bad for the animal?
I did, yeah. I was one of those people.
I kind of did, but Oh man. All right. Well, thanks for doing this again. I'm sorry that the first time sucked, but let's just dive into it. Tell the audience about yourself. Tell them, share whatever you want to share right now. We're going to talk about your blog. We're going to talk about your success with your blog because I noticed you have a shit ton of followers, which is amazing.
Okay, so I'm mostly autistic, so you may know, and I'm fine with it. I mean, as I'm me for me, and also I like to watch movies. I do like to draw, aside from writing my blog, and that's about it. And I'm an upbeat person. So
So okay, you like writing a lot. So I mean, you do work for TimeEnds Radio, which is amazing. If you guys don't know who this is Shiningbind. She does blogs for us. She does it twice a week. Did I say it correct? Yeah, Shiningbind. Bind. She does blogs for us twice a week. Music news for San Diego and LA. So, and she does, I mean, I'm on your website now, and all your blogs are just music related.
Yeah, basically, because it's a music blog.
Yeah, dude, you have a lot of blogs. Dude, this is incredible work. I mean, I'm just going to read off some stuff. I'm going to go to the very beginning. Ooh, keep scrolling down. Okay. Let's see. If you guys go to her website, it's christinebennettme.wixsite.com. And you'll eventually find it. If not, go to timeendsradio.com and go to the blog section under broadcast, and you'll see her, and her website's linked there. So she's got, it actually jumped back up. Let's see. Motley Crue, Shout Out the Devil album review, Def Leppard, Pyromania analysis. I need glasses. Jeez. The dirt goes big. Keep going. From high school to full-time artist, meet Jess Hess. Behind the scenes, meet the David. How do you pronounce it? Davidian.
David Davidian. He's the tour manager for Alice Cooper and Hollywood Vampires.
Dude, like, this is incredible. So this is just a couple. If I keep going up, Queensryche, Michael Poole. Let's see. Tess. How do you pronounce that? Stefan's daughter.
Tess Stevens' daughter. She's a well-known photographer in Europe, and she's done like 6 a.m. shows. She's done like some Motley Crue shows, Rammstein, and all that other stuff. So
awesome. That's awesome. I mean, the list goes on. I mean, she does Nightwish, Linkin Park. Let's see. Ace Von Johnson. Yep. Ozzy. Tons of blogs. It's amazing stuff. I'm not even gonna name what she's done for us. She does amazing work. So you're a writer, you're a blogger. What do you write normally? Like, what's your thing?
Well, like I've been writing since grade school, obviously, because that's like my creative outlet. And then it was until I eventually branched out and falling in love with writing after I started developing original characters. So at first I would be writing a lot of like fanfics and whatnot, until like eventually once I started developing original characters, I would start writing my original stories and such. And sometimes I would role play with people.
These are stories or scripts? Because I know in the program that if you guys don't know this, I was her teacher Well, in theory, I still am. She's graduating. um, is it scripts or stories?
Well, some of them are like novels, but like majority of them I've been writing lately are scripts. Like there's like I was actually talking to one of my classmates. I told him how I was like going to work on another script about someone getting catfished.
Oh yeah,
Like,
that's right. You spoke about that the first time we did this. Please go ahead. Let the audience know about that. That's pretty funny.
so I've been watching a lot of like, I mean, call me crazy. I've been watching a lot of Dr. Phil stuff about like it was Catfish Week, and I have been a victim of catfishing also. So I figure, hey, let's make that into a script about someone like getting random text messages from a stranger, and then luring her in like with like love notes and whatnot that he plagiarizes, and then
The script is the story based off of your experience or just like an overall?
basically an overall experience, but some of it my experience too. Where like in like a week, you asked the girl for her hand in marriage, like even though they were like practically strangers, and then next thing you know, he'll eventually explode to where he wants money from her.
Yeah, I don't know what the fuck is wrong with people. Seriously, it drives me nuts. It pisses me off, really. Yeah, okay. What other scripts are? You say you write novels? Have you written a novel?
Well, I've written like a fanfic that was chapter long. I have that on a website. I forgot the name of it, but there's a novel I'm working on that I'm right now. I'm doing the timeline of the events because it's gonna be like kind of like a trilogy or something like that.
Oh, wow.
It's basically about these seven guardians who are trying to take out a very corrupt mafia they're basically like they're running the planet, like they're like dictators and whatnot based and such, so they're very corrupt. And so these seven guardians who are like vessels of gods, they've come together. Like one of them, who was the first one that got the power, he has to set out on a journey to find the other six guardians to bring them together to summon the great god of the Sumia galaxy, Spiro. So, and that's when Spiro seals away the Death Reaper, who is actually taken on the body of who's in the form of a mafia leader.
Dude, that sounds like real life. It sounds like what's happening right now in America.
It's funny because I started working on this like back in 2012, and then when I find out the recent events in America, I was like, oh my god, that sounds like my story that I was working on and still working on. Like, I'm revamping it right now.
It's interesting because like we think of stuff that we're like, no one thinks of this, and then we write it down or we create it, and then you find out, oh wait, it's actually happening, or someone else thinks of it. It's incredible how that works out. Or an event that, like, I wrote a story once that an event happened, and then it happened in real life a few years later. It freaked me out. I felt like Nostradamus for a second.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Can I tell?
Yeah, go for it.
Oh man, but yeah. So okay, you have that. How many scripts have you completed?
Oh my gosh, I have so many. I lose count. I I have the bar one about the pure blood. I have
I remember that.
the heroin one with the heroin addicts going through and I have basically like 4 or 5 scripts or something like that, or maybe, yeah.
The heroin one, I think you should probably try and shoot that and show Nikki, because isn't that the one that was kind of, I don't remember. I mean, I know you told me in class, but isn't that kind of inspired by him?
I did get the inspiration from him, and plus from the opioid crisis that's been on the that he spreads awareness for and is advocate for. So I was like, huh. Well, and plus I lost my cousin to opioids. I lost him to heroin and meth. So I was like, I might make this in memory of my cousin.
Nice. You know what? I think you should definitely try and look into turning that into something, because it's it's a good story. I like. I mean, I'm also biased, but I liked it a lot. And the ending is, I don't want to kill it. I know about the multiple directions it could go, and I dig that. So that's cool. All right. Well, here, okay. Let's go into your obsession with Motley Crue. I mean, your dedication to Motley Crue. Why Motley Crue? What the like? What happened?
Well,
How did you? I mean, not what happened, but like, how did you get involved into being so in love with Motley Crue? I guess that's the right terminology.
well, I actually discovered them by accident, and it was like, I will say it was the best accident that ever happened, because back then I didn't even. It was like 2012. I didn't even know who they were. So, and I was on a wrestling role playing website. It was kind of known as eFeds. So I had a character with a celebrity pick base, and then someone had, like, because they used their original characters with their celebrity pick bases, and so someone had a pick base for his character, and it was Nikki Six. I was like, who is Nikki Six? And I was like, I'm curious now. And then finally he told me, the guy who was handling him told me, oh, he's the bassist for Motley Crue. I was like, oh my gosh, that rang a bell, because my brother one time was learning a song on guitar by Motley Crue when he was taking guitar lessons.
Oh, so okay. And out of all the members, you liked Nikki Six the most.
Yeah.
Why Nikki Six?
Well, because he's like a very hard worker. I mean, and he's very motivational and and he's an inspiration too. What I mean by he's a hard worker, he even admitted on Twitter one time that he's a workaholic, and that kind of motivates me to want to do this, to like do the same thing, obviously, because he's very inspiring, and especially because if he didn't do that stuff, he wouldn't be where he is today.
Very
And
true. Very true. Yeah, he's an amazing bassist. I mean, I know I talk a lot of shit about bass players only because I'm a guitar player. I mean, I do it to you. But I mean, we all know that bass players are the backbone. They're the connection between, the rhythm, drums and everyone else. So bass is an important part of a group, unless you're animals as leaders. But but so okay. The other question is, I kind of went off what I wanted to say. So the other question I have, talking about Nikki Six is, you never. I mean, I asked you this last time, but you never picked up learning to play bass, right? How come?
I mean, I did have a bass once upon a time, and I was picking at it a little bit, but the problem, it's really hard to play. I mean, even when I was like looking up lessons online, it's really hard to play, and well, because when I played my brother's guitar, I once upon a time, like when he was away, I snuck in and took his guitar and started playing like a little bit of Nothing Else Matters, the intro to it. So, but the bass is a different story, because it's definitely a lot more complex. And
Yeah, a lot of people don't know that. I'm happy you said that. The joke about bass players is one thing, but bass is not an easy instrument. People, they get deceived because it has 4 strings. Versus guitar that's like, oh, that's so many strings. I was like, yeah, no, bass is a lot harder.
yeah,
Not only do you have to have really good rhythm and timing, but understanding walks and all that fun stuff and where to go and how not to copy the guitar. It's not an easy thing. So I give a lot of credit to bass players, even though I talk a lot of shit.
definitely. I mean, especially because like when I owned a bass, I was basically playing like at the guitar, and it was like not the way to do it.
Well, that's the way to learn, and it's interesting. I noticed my friends that are bass players end up playing drums, and my friends that are drummers end up playing bass.
That's
It's not common in my circle, in my world. I've never seen a guitar player play bass, or like completely go to bass. Yeah, it's interesting. Okay. So, okay, you mentioned you were autistic. I mean, obviously I know that, but tell us a little bit about that. Like how does it affect you? How does it inspire you? You know,
okay.
tell
So
people
I
about you.
was So, as some of you may know, I am 32 years old. So, back when I was diagnosed, yes, I am. I'm 32.
You're a lot- Wow. Honestly, I'm not kidding. This is genuine. I thought you were a lot younger.
I get that a lot all the time. It's good genes. Like I definitely have my mom's side of the genes. So, because my sister and my brother, they look older than me. They're both younger than me. Even my brother, he's the baby. And anyway, so like my mom realized something was wrong when I was like 18 months. But however, back then, because autism was like practically brand new, they kept misdiagnosing me. Like they kept taking all these blood tests on me, and I hated it so much. And it wasn't until like I was 15 they said like, oh, you've been misdiagnosed again. You have Asperger's. Well, back then they called it Asperger's. So
It's
yeah,
fine to call it Asperger. I mean, it depends,
yeah.
But I do want to
But
say something before you continue. You did say that there was something wrong with you. There's nothing wrong with you. So it's, always remember that.
oh no, I definitely remember that. I remember it from like my past life because growing up it was not easy. Like I almost got I got turned away from elementary school. My mom was so angry about that. She literally had to fight tooth and nail to get me enrolled into an elementary school because they wouldn't accept me. And I was really happy they got me in, but of course I was in special ed classes, and kids bullied me and were mean to me, but I just didn't care. So I just continued on with my life.
No, I mean, for everybody that's listening or watching, I've been your teacher for now 4 years, 2 years, 4 semesters, 2 years, and you're so optimistic, and you're such a hard worker. I mean, that's why I hire you all the time. Um, and it's inspiring, and I hope individuals that are watching this can have a little inspiration so they don't feel they're alone, because I've noticed a lot of individuals that have autism or any developmental disorder, they feel alone, and they're not, you know, and that's cool. It's like I said, it's very inspirational, and I'm happy you're such like, I'm gonna do this, and it's awesome, and nothing gets in your way, you know.
Basically.
Yeah, yeah. So awesome. Okay, cool. It does that. With that, all that being said, how does it affect your ability with music? And I'll tell you why I'm asking.
Curious.
Well, okay, I'll tell you now. Because I have a friend that is on the spectrum that can't hear the instruments but can hear the song, but yet
Oh,
he plays guitar.
okay. I see where you're going at.
Yeah.
Cause see, I have hearing loss too. I mean, I'm not like completely deaf, but I'm like starting to go deaf in this ear right a little bit. So that's why I wear hearing aids. Because so I basically, I mean, even with the hearing loss, I still play by ear, see how it sounds and whatnot. And that's where I picked it up from. I mean, I don't. I mean, I just, and sometimes when I get that feeling, I feel it. Because like I just recently wrote a short poem the other day, and it was a rhyming poem. I was like, hey, this actually be a some good song lyrics.
Cool. Okay. So okay, awesome. All right, now here my next question is what's your favorite genre of music? I mean, I know you're into rock and stuff and metal, but like, is it just metal? Is it just rock?
I mean, not just rock. I mean, I like rock and metal. That's like my main genre that I love. But I also have an open mind for like all music in general. Like whether it's video game music or like pop music and like even rap at times.
Cool. Tell me a little bit about your audio career. I know you've
I
done
mean,
audio work, you were a sound mixer and all that stuff. Like, what
oh,
inspired
I'm sorry, can you repeat that?
what inspired you to want to do audio versus video editing, cinematography, and all that fun stuff?
Oh, okay. So I just love everything about audio. I mean when I first learned more about it and started branching out when I obviously took your class.
Oh, sorry.
it's a good thing. I mean, it taught me so much, and I mean, obviously, my most favorite is like the sound design and the dialogue editing. 'Cause I don't mind sitting in front of a computer for hours because that's what I usually do.
I hate that.
And
I fucking editing. God, it drives me nuts. But I gotta do it. That's good.
yeah, and plus I like sometimes I like play around with like little figures and whatnot in my room because I have so much stuff in my room.
Yeah.
Sometimes I play around with it. It's like, oh hey, that makes good Foley sound. I should record that.
Yeah, you can start an archive or a library, and you can use that for when you do films or even anything. That's awesome. And what about when you're on set? You were a sound mixer and a boom operator, or like what were you? I forget.
I was a boom operator for a short film, and for like smaller stuff, I was a sound mixer.
So how was it working with? Let's start with sound mixing. How'd you like sound mixing on set?
I enjoyed sound mixing. I mean, I mean, I actually had fun, like, making sure, like, the volumes are like all at the same level and whatnot, and nothing peaks. I mean, it was to me, I found it pretty simple.
Cool. What about boom operating?
Oh my gosh, boom operating. I mean, I enjoyed it, but at the same time, so much upper body strength you need, because I remember being on set for hours as a boom operator, and my arms were starting to like give out, so I had to rest on my shoulders for most of the part because I don't have that much upper body strength. I never had it, like, even growing up. I never had that much upper body strength. So I remember at the end of once we were like done for the day, and when we all like went home, I had to rest my arms, like ice them and everything.
Dude, that's yeah, it's not easy. A lot of people think it's easy. You're just standing there holding something. Yeah, why don't you try to hold a stick? Just take a broom, take the bristle part off, and just hold it like that for like 5 minutes, and then let us audio people know if it's still easy. And it's funny because with the boom stick, or the boom, not the boomstick, it extends so far that with the the microphone's own weight starts kind of weighing down, and
Yeah, it's insane.
causes more.
And sometimes I even like get mixed up with the boom operator, where the left is the right and the right is the left, like depending on where you view it. So
Yeah, it took me a while. I used to yell at the audio teams like, "Nope, you guys got to figure out. I'm gonna go have coffee." Awesome.
Hey, coffee sounds good right about now.
I know, right? I know. Okay, cool. Well, thanks for being on. I feel bad that the first segment just was a nightmare, but at least we're able to do this again. Go ahead and let people know how they can get a hold of you if they want to hire you for any editing or blogging.
Okay, so if you go to my website on christybennettme.wixsite.com/Shiningbind Band Talk, or you can just find it on the TimeEnds website. There's an About Me section, and then you'll find my email. You can contact me through email.
Awesome. Yeah, and then I'll also post your contact on all the media stuff that we have. So awesome, Christy. Thanks for doing this. I'll talk to you later. I'll see you around. I got some offers for you.
Okay, no problem.
Right,
Thank you so much. Take care. Bye bye.
See you guys later. We'll see you next week.